We need to hurry. Running late. For a lot of people, getting from A to B is just a journey. For me, it starts with a question. Will the lift be working? Hi, my name is Lotte. I'm a 14-year-old girl who lives in Berlin and uses a wheelchair, as it's pretty clear. Today I'm traveling across Berlin. I'm going to Sozialhelden, which means social heroes in English. They created a project called Broken Lifts. Yeah, Broken Lifts. It shows which public transport lifts are working and which ones are broken. They can change my whole route. To show you that all the complaining about lifts and broken lifts is really right, we are at the Alexanderplatz, trying to get out of the station from the way. Alexanderplatz is one of Berlin's busiest stations. For me, it can be difficult to navigate. It took me 7 minutes to go from the UA to street level, and all lifts are working. It's so annoying, it's a nightmare. And that was only one station. If a lift is broken, the journey changes. I might need another station, another train, or help from someone else. Sometimes there's no easy alternative. Now I arrived at Sozialhelden. This is where Broken Lift was created. I want to find out how it works and what could happen next. This is Holger Dieterich. He is one of the people behind Broken Lifts.
Broken
Lifts is first of all a map. On brokenlifts.org you can see which elevators in Berlin are currently working and which ones are out of service. Elevators are essential for getting from A to B. They're basically a means of transport, so it's vital to know whether they're working.
This is me with Victoria Eckert. She works at Sozialhelden. She is also a wheelchair user.
The idea behind it was that people who depend on elevators, like me for example, I'm a wheelchair user myself, can know as close to real time as possible whether the elevators they need for their journey are working or not. If I know I want to go somewhere in Berlin, I always check Broken Lifts beforehand to see whether the elevators are working.
Broken Lifts began in Berlin, but the idea could work anywhere.
Our plans for the future aren't just limited to Berlin. We've realized that this applies to elevators worldwide. This isn't just maintenance information. It's essential info for people who use the elevators.
But this is not only about wheelchair users. Lifts also help older people, parents with prams, and people carrying heavy luggage. A lift is not an extra. It is part of the journey. Berlin has a good public transport, but not always for people in wheelchairs. Better information gives people more choice and more freedom. What is it like in your city? Has a broken lift ever stopped you from getting from A to B? Tell us in the comments.